Everyone should be made aware of how animal products are produced. All consumers should know how those animal products are produced so they can make educated choices. There was a time when I used to consume animal products, and it was only because I did not know any better. I did not know any better. So, yeah, you don't have to be here. Bye-bye. I didn't know any better. That's the only reason why I wasn't vegan. So, I know a lot of people out there, you know, when it's time to eat, you know, you're just thinking, I want food. I want food. I want food. What do I want? Chicken? Oh, pork? Beef? Seafood? Yeah, you're seeing these animals as food, and they're not. They're actually victims. If you see how the animal products you're consuming are being produced, I think you'll wake up. And there's a good chance you'll go vegan, like I did. Because I have always been against animal abuse. And I think most people out there are against animal abuse. But if you're not vegan, you are in fact funding not just animal abuse, some of the most atrocious acts of animal abuse taking place. And you can watch Dominion at dominionmovement.com for free. And yeah, so before you start accusing vegans of lying, spreading misinformation, yeah, watch Dominion at dominionmovement.com. It's narrated by Joaquin Phoenix, you know, that actor who won an Oscar for his role as the Joker. He's been vegan since he was 3 years old. And yeah, the day after he won that Oscar and gave that epic speech slamming the dairy industry, that was so sweet. Oh, yeah, that was like the best speech ever. But the next day after he won that Oscar, he went to a slaughterhouse and he rescued a cow and her calf and sent that cow with her baby to Farm Sanctuary. So yeah, he's an awesome man. And he did the right thing. He went vegan because even at the age of 3 years old, he knew what was happening to animals, what was wrong. Literally, after seeing someone catch a fish, seeing how that animal was suffering, he and his brothers and sisters got upset, and the whole family at that point went vegan. And yeah, that was back in the 70s. And in case you don't know, if, you know, like you're a vegetarian and you think you're doing a great thing, yeah, it's great that you've given up eating meat. But you should know that the dairy industry and the egg industry are just as evil as the meat industry. Dairy cows do not automatically produce milk. They have to be pregnant. Dairy farmers forcibly impregnate those dairy cows. In other words, they sexually violate them by forcing semen into their vaginas. If you were to force semen into an unconsenting woman's vagina, what would you call that? I'm sure you wouldn't be calling that artificial insemination. Yeah, that would be a crime. And it should be a crime what they're doing to these animals. And they're forcibly impregnating these dairy cows because they have to be pregnant in order for them to start producing milk. And when those dairy cows give birth, their babies are taken from them. And if they're males, they are sent to slaughter because they're useless to the dairy industry. How can anyone think it's okay to steal babies from their mothers and kill them, to steal their baby food? There are plant-based alternatives to everything, especially dairy products. No need to be hurting animals. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're literally paying people to hurt animals when you purchase animal products. It's a fact. Yeah, it's just so many people are so like pro animal cruelty. It's like, it's very disturbing. Yeah, no one should have to die for someone else's appetite. No one should have to lose their life over someone's appetite. This little guy should not have to lose his life just so someone can eat some artery-clogging, carcinogenic crap. It doesn't even make sense that, you know, people literally come here to defend this multi-billion-dollar industry that is based on nothing but horrifically abusing animals and destroying the planet in the process just to sell you products that increase your risk of getting cancer and heart disease. Yeah, going vegan, you know, it might seem like a hard thing to do at first, but it's actually pretty easy to go vegan. And we've never lived in a time where it is really so easy to go vegan because there are so many plant-based options now. Even KFC just put Beyond Chicken on their menu a few weeks ago. And the grocery stores are filled, especially Whole Foods, filled with vegan options. All fruits, all vegetables, all beans, nuts, seeds, legumes, grains, most pasta, most cereal is vegan, all kinds of vegan burgers, even vegan chicken, vegan seafood, vegan ice cream. And right on this app, all you have to do in the search box, put vegan recipes if you like to cook. You'll come across endless vegan recipes right here on this app. Hundreds of TikTokers who post vegan recipes. So whatever you like, you know, if you like, say, bacon, just put vegan bacon recipes. All kinds of ways to veganize bacon. You'll be surprised. But yeah, if you don't like to cook, go to happycow.net. Put in your city and you can find vegan and vegan-friendly restaurants in any city. So yeah, just start trying some vegan recipes. Start trying some vegan options. And I think you'll be surprised at how good a lot of these foods are. And a whole foods plant-based diet is the best diet for human health. So I would recommend that you stick as close to a whole foods plant-based diet as possible, filled with fruits and vegetables, beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, grains. But yeah, I do like, you know, the Gardein products are pretty good. 365 is the Whole Foods brand. They have lots of plant-based meat alternatives that are really good. Plant-based chicken nuggets, plant-based chicken patties, plant-based burgers. All really good. Yeah, a lot more plants are killed to feed the animals that you eat. In case you don't know, cattle, most cattle raised for beef are actually on feedlots being fed grains because grains fatten them up quicker for slaughter. And those cattle are being raised for about 12 to 22 months. So yeah, every single day, day after day after day after day, for months and months and months, these animals have to eat. What do you think they're eating? grains. It takes up to 16 pounds of grains to get just 1 pound of beef in return. It takes up to 6 pounds of grains to get just 1 pound of poultry in return. So a lot more plants are being killed to feed the animals that you eat. And then animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation. 1 acre of land is cleared every single second of every single day, and it is mainly to graze and grow food for livestock. A lot of animals have to be raised to keep up with the demand of all of these humans. Literally almost 8 billion humans on this planet, and most of them are not vegan. So yeah, it's taking a lot of resources to fatten up all of these ceaseless billions of animals to meet the demand for animal flesh and secretions. Yeah, and all plants contain protein. All plants contain protein. Now, most fruits are not a very good source of protein. Most fruits, just a serving of fruit has typically 1 gram of protein. But beans and legumes, nuts, seeds, grains are a good source of protein. Plant-based meat alternatives are a good source of protein. Tofu is a good source of protein, and it's a complete source of protein containing all 9 essential amino acids. What am I delusional about? I'm literally stating facts. People are delusional who think that animals aren't being abused to turn up in pieces on their plates. Like literally on your dinner plate, there are pieces of an animal, and you think that nothing bad happened to that animal to become that way on your plate? Yeah, all of these animals being slaughtered are literally being slaughtered as babies, in case you don't know. No, guess what? The B12? Yeah, just like humans can be deficient in nutrients, so too can non-human animals. In fact, most of the B12 supplements produced are given to livestock. Because, yeah, when those livestock are being fed, corn and other grains, which don't contain B12, how do you think those animals are getting their B12? Yeah. How do you think the cattle being raised on feedlots being fed grains, which contain no B12? How do you think those cows are getting their B12? Yeah, through a supplement. That's something I should post. I should do a TikTok video of how these farmers inject B12 into their animals. That's how it, makes a lot more sense just to take a B12 supplement directly than getting it secondhand through an animal that's been tortured, forced into a slaughterhouse, and having the planet being destroyed in the process just so you can eat some artery clogging carcinogenic crap when you could just take a B12 supplement directly. Every grocery store has a supplement section. It's very easy to, find a B12 supplement, or some plant-based foods are, fortified with B12. A lot of cereals are fortified with B12. A lot of plant-based milk alternatives are fortified with B12. Controlling the population of animals. Do you know farmers sexually abuse animals to force them to reproduce? Yeah, they need to stop messing with the genitalia of animals. And in case you don't know, there are 10 humans for every deer in the United States, not 10 deer for every human in the United States. So the population problem is with humans, not deer or any other animal. Humans are the ones literally destroying the planet. You don't have to be a nutritionist to know that fruits, nuts, seeds, vegetables, whole grains are the healthiest foods to eat. And from the American Institute for Cancer Research, from the National Kidney Foundation, from the American Heart Association, they all state the same thing, that a plant-based diet reduces the risk of all of those conditions. And if you have any of those health conditions, a plant-based diet can help treat them. So yeah, that's not coming from me. That's coming from the American Institute for Cancer Research, the National Kidney Foundation, and the American Heart Association. And there are plenty of research documents that you can look up that conclude the same thing, that a plant-based diet reduces the risk of so many very common and very deadly diseases. Hate speech. I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating facts. Yeah, if anybody out there is from the state of Oregon, go to Yes on IP13, yesonip13.org, sign the petition, make sure IP13 gets on the ballot in November to get animal agriculture banned in the state of Oregon, to get hunting banned and fishing banned. Yeah, because it's all animal abuse and it needs to be banned. Yeah, it's funny people talking about abortion. Like, I can't take anyone serious who claims to be pro-life if you're not vegan, because you literally eat the babies of other species morning, noon, and night. So I can't take you seriously. See, I've never been pregnant. I don't perform abortions. I do not pay people to perform abortions. I have nothing to do with abortion. But yeah, if you're not vegan, you're literally eating the babies of other species. And if you're consuming dairy products, you're literally having babies taken from their mothers and killed if they're boys, so you can have their baby food. Yeah, and pigs are just 6 months old when they're slaughtered. They can live over 10 years, so they're just babies. Chickens are just 6 weeks old when they are slaughtered. They can live over 7 years. They're just babies. Even cattle are killed between 12 and 22 months of age. They can live over 20 years. They're just babies when they're killed. Oh, and look at this person thinking I need to see a psychologist because I don't want to pay people to harm animals. And I'm here just, trying to convince other people to not pay people to harm animals. Yeah, okay. That's harassment. That's harassment and bullying right there. So it's interesting that TikTok allows these people to get away with that. Calling me crazy. Calling me crazy just because I don't pay people to hurt animals. And I'm trying to encourage other people to not pay people to hurt animals. These people are just so fucking strange. So strange. Seriously. I hope any rational people out there, you see what's going on here. I mean, whose side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side where there's people calling people who are against animal cruelty psychopaths? Like, I'm a psychopath, or I'm crazy, I'm deranged, I'm delusional because I think it's wrong to hurt animals, because I think it's wrong to sexually abuse animals, because I think it's wrong to chop an animal's head off just because I get hungry. No, I don't wake up angry. But yeah, Yeah, it's just ridiculous that I have to try so hard to convince people to stop hurting animals. It seems like it would be like a no-brainer. Like, people would be like, yeah, you're right. And you're doing the right thing. And, and I should be doing the same thing. So, like, I can't force you to go vegan. If you don't want to go vegan, you can literally just scroll on by. You don't have to listen to anything I say. I can't force you to go vegan, but yeah, if I could, I absolutely would force you to stop hurting animals and to stop paying people to hurt animals on your behalf. I would if I could, but I can't. Yeah, obviously vegans are convincing people to go vegan because every single day, thousands of people go vegan. And there are more and more and more and more vegan products on the store shelves. Even today, I noticed today when I was at the grocery store that Toll House now has vegan chocolate chips on the market now. And they're organic too. So they're paying attention to the consumers who are wanting, healthier products. Products that don't involve abusing an animal. Products that are better for the environment. My phone isn't vegan. No, I haven't come across anything that shows that my phone contains animal byproducts. Somebody sent me something once that says my phone screen may contain animal cholesterol. It doesn't. It doesn't. That's why they say may contain, because they don't even know themselves what the fuck they're talking about. Animal cholesterol in a cell phone. I mean, get the fuck real. But even if there were any animal byproducts in any of the things that people are consuming, yeah, those animal byproducts only exist because you want to consume animals. Slaughterhouses do not exist to make cell phones. Slaughterhouses do not exist to make car tires. Cell phones do not exist to make markers. Slaughterhouses do not exist to make anything but the flesh that is sold on store shelves for the flesh eaters to eat. Or, the animal skins that people want to wear. That's the only reason why these animals are being slaughtered. It's because people want to consume animals and their secretions. Now, it does not. Because if it did, you would be able to provide me proof, but you can't. So yeah, my phone absolutely does not contain animal byproducts at all. If it did, you would easily be able to show me some proof. Show me some proof. And I don't want the thing that says it may. I want something that shows that my phone does contain animal byproducts. But again, even if it did, slaughterhouses do not exist to make cell phones. Slaughterhouses exist because you eat animals. And that's the only reason why they exist. And the only reason why they will ever exist. See, the slaughter industry, instead of throwing out that waste, what they do is they sell it to other industries to maximize their profits. And for instance, most car tires do contain animal byproducts, but Michelin tires do not contain animal byproducts because it is not necessary. It's not necessary to use animal byproducts to make car tires or anything else, except, the body parts you want to eat or the skins you want to wear. Again, show me the proof. Show me the proof of batteries containing animal byproducts. Show it to me. You should be able to, like make a TikTok video and tag me in it. Yeah, I eat vegan cheesecake. Vegan cheesecake. Yeah. Make sure it's a vegan cheesecake. Make sure you go to a bakery that's vegan and get me a vegan cheesecake. Now, I'm not going to go through every single comment because I know most of the comments, like 99% of the comments, are just negative, bullshit comments. Yeah, like this one. Vegans worship Satan. Yeah, because, we're against hurting animals. We're against stealing baby animals from their mothers and killing them to steal their food. So we're so evil. We must worship Satan because, we don't think it's right to steal little babies from their mothers and kill them to steal their food. So yeah, we vegans must be so evil because of that. Yeah, well, if that makes me evil, then yeah, I'll be evil. If that's what being evil means to you, being, against hurting animals. See, this is an atrocity that you can literally help end. And you certainly shouldn't be participating in. But when you consume animal products, you are participating in a massacre of innocent beings. Like all these people who understand what's happening in the Ukraine is an atrocity. And yeah, most people would be like, yeah, I would definitely stop this war if I could. I don't want to see people being killed. I don't want to see people being massacred. But here every single day, just because you get hungry, you have an innocent being massacred for your taste preference. When you could very, very easily end this massacre, you have control to end this massacre. Very, very, very easily. So fucking easy. It's just by when you go grocery shopping, instead of reaching for the cow's milk that comes from stealing babies from their mothers and killing the boys to steal their food, take your hand, move it a few feet the other way, and pick the flax milk or the hemp milk or the chia milk or the cashew milk or the soy milk or the oat milk or the coconut milk or the rice milk instead. It's that easy. But no, you just ignore this atrocity that you are literally funding with your own money and pretending like this isn't an atrocity, but it is. This, in fact, is actually the worst atrocity ever because this atrocity is literally destroying the planet. It's destroying the planet. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, and ocean dead zones. Some scientists say we are in the middle of the sixth mass extinction. Some scientists say we are on the brink of the sixth mass extinction. But this is the only mass extinction event caused by humans that, and it's mainly due to their eating habit. Eating animals is very resource intensive. Takes a lot of resources to fatten up all of these animals for slaughter. And these animals cause, a lot of waste. They produce a lot of waste. Here in the United States, every single minute, livestock produce 7 million pounds of manure, which is like 130 times more excrement than the entire U.S. population of humans produce each minute. And methane is, about 30 times more powerful at heating up the atmosphere. And a lot of that excrement ends up in the rivers, which leads to the oceans, which leads to ocean dead zones. lipstick I'm wearing does not come from animals. It's Bare Minerals. It's absolutely vegan and not tested on animals. There are many brands that are vegan and not tested on animals. Oh, look at this person, another person. Oh, have you seen a psychologist? Really? No, I'm in no need of seeing a psychologist. Yeah, I'm not the one literally thinking it's okay to steal babies from their mothers and hack them to pieces to steal their baby food when I'm a grown adult and I'm, not related to a cow in any way. Oh. Yeah, and you see, I'm going to tell you something you might not have heard before. In the animal agriculture industry, it's standard practice that animals are sexually abused to force them to reproduce. Now you know. So now if you continue to consume animal products, you're doing so knowing that you're funding the sexual abuse of animals. That's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up shit right there. Go vegan, go vegan, go vegan, or you're literally funding you're literally knowingly funding the sexual abuse of animals, because now I just told you, now you know. Now you can't say you didn't know. No, somebody must have hurt you in your life to think that it's okay to hurt animals for your appetite. Yeah, so now you know, I just told you all. So see, yeah, when I see people consuming animal products, when I go to the grocery store and see people putting animal products in their cart, yeah, what I see is like, how they're literally supporting the sexual abuse of animals. How they're literally paying people to chop the heads of animals off, to skin animals, to dismember animals, to put these animals through fucking hell just for, a few minutes of sensory pleasure. And I really, am just baffled by how people continue to just turn a blind eye and act like, there's nothing wrong with consuming animal products when there is everything wrong with it. And it should be banned. Animal agriculture absolutely should be banned. And in the state of Oregon, they are trying to ban it. God did not give us animals to eat. Read Genesis 1:29 on the very first page of the Bible. And what about thou shalt not kill? What about thou shalt not steal? What about treating others as you want to be treated? Animals do absolutely qualify as others. Yeah, and just so you know, if you just tuned in, animals are being sexually abused. Has nothing to do with God, everything to do with bestiality. It's blasphemous that you think that God wants us to be fondling the genitalia of animals like, farmers do, to get them to ejaculate so they can force the semen into the females to impregnate them for the sinister purpose of stealing their babies, forcing those babies to live in shit-filled sheds for their entire life, to then be forced into a slaughterhouse and hacked to pieces. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. Everything about this doesn't even make sense. Like how people are like literally trying to defend this insanity. Like, even if you just, don't even think about what's happening to the animals themselves. Just go into those factory farms where your food is coming from and see the fucking disgusting conditions they're living in. Literally, pigs crammed, chickens crammed, turkeys crammed into shit-filled sheds. living in such filthy conditions they have to be given antibiotics just to keep them alive long enough to make it to slaughter. I mean, it's crazy. I just don't understand how anybody is here to defend this multi-billion-dollar industry that is literally based on nothing but torturing animals. Yeah, it's very torturous. You know, if you don't think these animals are being tortured, imagine yourself in their place. Imagine you being forced to live in an overcrowded, shit-filled shed for 6 months, like in the case of pigs, and then to be forced onto a transport truck in the freezing cold of winter, in the stifling heat of summer, to travel for hours and hours with no food, no water. All these animals shitting and pissing on each other because they have no room and they're all crammed. Those trucks, if you go to a slaughterhouse, stand outside, watch those trucks arrive. The trucks, some of them have shit like all on the outside, dripping. And these animals are literally terrified, traumatized, and they're forced into those slaughterhouses. They do not go into those slaughterhouses willingly. And here in the United States, 30 million animals each and every day are being forced into slaughterhouses. 30 million animals each day being forced into slaughterhouses across the United States. Executed. Having their heads chopped off. Being skinned and dismembered just because, you know, somebody wants to sit down for a few minutes and stuff their face with some artery-clogging carcinogenic crap. If you think it's okay to kill an animal just because you get hungry, yeah, I think you should have to work in a slaughterhouse yourself, killing those animals yourself if you see nothing wrong with it. If you see nothing wrong with it, you should have to go work in a slaughterhouse. And then get back with me. Have I ever been to a farm? So, you think because I haven't been to a farm that I would actually see things differently if I actually witnessed animals being sexually abused firsthand? No, I'd probably, well, I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, if I actually witnessed with my own two eyes, like live right in front of me, that wouldn't be happening. I would be going ballistic. Yeah, you can, like, there's farmers that like dairy farmers that will, oh, look at the cows out in the field. Does it look like they're being abused? That's like a child abuser. Pointing to a child that's being abused behind closed doors, out on a playground having fun with his friends, and saying, oh, look at that kid. Does that kid look like he's being abused? Look how happy he is. Look how much fun he's having. He's on a playground having fun with his friends. Now, does it look like he's being abused? It's such fucking bullshit. It's such fucking bullshit. It doesn't matter. Those animals don't have to be they don't have to be being abused 24/7. But some of them are, like, the pigs and the chickens and the turkeys that are crammed into these overcrowded, excrement-filled industrial sheds. Yeah, they are being abused 24/7. And yeah, if you put a child in their place, in those filthy, shit-filled sheds, yeah, I mean, you would understand how horrific that would be. But, oh, they're just they're just pigs and chickens and, turkeys. I mean, that's like, even if you don't care about the animals, that food, those animals' body parts that, these animals are literally in a shit-filled shed for months. And then you're literally putting their body parts in your mouth. That's pretty bizarre when you think about it. Not the fact that you're just, stuffing corpses in your face, but, these animals literally lived in shit-filled sheds, and then you're putting that in your mouth. Creepy. creepy. Yeah, in case you don't know, humans are animals. Yes, they're in, what do you call those big metal facilities? Yeah, they're sheds. Industrial sheds. That's what they call them, industrial sheds. Yeah, and they're confined in those industrial sheds that are filled with shit. No, it's not a requirement to kill animals for crop production. It's not a requirement. There are actually non-lethal deterrents. Unfortunately, most farmers are not vegan, so they don't give a fuck if animals die or not. They don't care about using, non-lethal deterrents because they're not vegan. But yeah, there are veganic farmers, in case you don't know. Yeah, have you ever heard of bird flu? Have you ever heard of swine flu? Have you ever heard of mad cow disease? Have you ever heard of COVID-19? Yeah, COVID-19 was started by someone eating an animal, and I'm sure they cooked that animal first. Yeah, so yeah, all of you animal eaters are literally putting the world at risk for another global pandemic. Yeah, well, a lot more land is being farmed for animal production. And most crops are grown as feed for animals. Like, for instance, 80% of the soybeans grown are used for livestock feed. Only 6% of the soybeans grown are used to make products like tofu. It takes a lot more crops to be produced to feed the animals that you eat than would be needed if you just ate the plants directly yourself. A lot more plants. Like 16 up to 16 times more plants need to be produced and harvested so you can eat beef. No, we ban animal agriculture. We don't ban animals. We ban animal agriculture. The practice of using and abusing animals. Now, I'm still waiting for somebody to show proof. No, it's not human nature to consume animals. It's absolutely not human nature. Yeah, especially like, the sexual abuse that's taking place within the animal agriculture industry. That's definitely not human nature. It's not a natural thing for a human to be sexually abusing an animal to force them to reproduce, to eat their babies. And normal people do not get the urge to kill animals when we get hungry. Normal people do not find roadkill appetizing. Why? Because we are not true omnivores. Yeah, there's a reason why heart disease is the leading cause of death and why a whole foods plant-based diet significantly reduces the risk of heart disease, and why a whole plant-based diet can actually reverse heart disease, because we are not true omnivores. A food desert doesn't mean that there are no vegan products. There are still plenty of vegan products that you can find. So you're saying that people that live in a food desert only have access to meat, dairy, and egg products? That's it? Nothing else? They might not have access, and that's only like within a 1 mile range. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm almost 50 years old in just over a year. I'll be 50. I ride my bike 10 miles every day, just about. 10 miles, and I'm almost 50. And a food desert, what? I mean, it's been a while since I read the definition. A food desert is what? Like, you know, it's like within like a mile. I think it's like a mile. Yeah, I think you could ride your bike. I think most people could ride a bike a lot further than, you know, say 2 miles, the mile there and the mile back. Like I said, I ride my bike 10 miles a day. Oh, they live in a food desert because, you know, within a mile, they don't have access to a store that sells, you know, fresh produce, healthy food. Yeah, healthy food is vegan food. Yeah, I understand. Healthy food is vegan food. And they're saying, you know, a food desert is pretty much, you know, when you're living in an area where you don't have access to healthy food. Like maybe there's just a McDonald's, you know, within a mile of your house. But yeah, even McDonald's, I know like KFC just put Beyond Meat on their menu. I think even some McDonald's now have vegan burgers on their menu. But again, yeah, I think most people can walk or bike more than 2 miles, more than 4 miles. Like I said, I could bike 10 miles a day. So I would have no problem. If there wasn't a place within a mile where I could get vegan food, yeah, I could easily, you know, go a little bit further out and find a place. Or you know what? Grow your own food. How about that? Yeah, and there's a lot of plants that grow well in pots. And in case you don't know, there are 1 billion people in third world countries starving right now because food they could eat is being used to fatten up your food. Yeah, grains grown in third world countries are sold off to the animal agriculture industry. So people in first world countries can eat meat. Yeah, because all the grains needed to feed all of these ceaseless tens of billions of animals aren't just coming from first world countries. Some of the grains needed to fatten up all of these ceaseless tens of billions of animals for their flesh to satisfy, you know, privileged people's appetites are coming from third world countries. Yeah, Genesis 1:29. God gave us plants to be meat for us. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. Like, look at this. Look how triggered people are. I mean, this person here, vegans spread AIDS. I mean, how triggered do you have to be by someone who's against animal cruelty to literally make such a fucking outrageous statement? Now, I just reported that. It'll be interesting to see if TikTok says it doesn't violate guidelines. So you know what? I think I'm going to screenshot this so that So if TikTok says this comment doesn't violate guidelines, I could do a TikTok video of how fucked up TikTok is. Because this does happen, you know, where TikTok will say, this doesn't violate guidelines. Like literally, this person spreading hate speech. Talk about hate speech. Vegans spread AIDS. Oh my God, you're so triggered. Like, oh. No, actually, you know, Whole Foods plant-based diet boosts your immune system. So yeah. So whatever health condition you have, I mean, there's a good chance a plant-based diet, you know, like cancer, heart disease, kidney disease, cerebrovascular disease, COVID, and AIDS. Yeah, a plant-based diet will help boost your immune system. So yeah, plant-based diet can help so many people. And yeah, that's in line with Genesis 1:29 on the very first page of the Bible. Is that just a coincidence? Is that just a coincidence? Maybe not. I don't think so. That a plant-based diet helps prevent and can even help treat like almost just about every health condition there is. Especially all the major ones. Yeah, so I think I'm going to sign off. It's getting late once again. I wish I could be on here all day, all night, because I absolutely would. Because this atrocity doesn't end. So, you know, as long as animals are being abused and killed by the billions each day, yeah, I'm going to, you know, use this platform to keep trying to reach people, because I know there are people out there who are honestly against animal cruelty. So those people need to be made aware that they are funding some of the worst acts of animal cruelty when they're consuming animal products, even dairy products. Like, you know, this is what you're funding: the slaughter of babies. Because those dairy cows have to be pregnant in order for them to start lactating. So when they give birth, the dairy farmers steal their babies from them so they can steal the food that was intended for these babies. Because, yeah, that's the only reason why mammals produce milk, to feed their babies. Cow's milk is baby food for baby cows, but they kill the babies if they're boys so you can consume their food instead. So, yeah, if you're against animal cruelty, you absolutely have to be vegan. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite. It's just a fact. You know, that's why I went vegan. I did not go vegan because I didn't enjoy eating cheese. I didn't go vegan because I didn't enjoy eating bacon and hamburgers and steak. I went vegan because I saw what was happening to these animals. And I saw how atrocious and unnecessary it was for these animals to be treated in such horrible ways. I mean, how is it not animal abuse to chop an animal's head off? Yeah, like, why is the cow's head not attached to your burger? Why is the chicken's head not attached to your dino nuggies? Why is the pig's head not attached to your bacon? Because it was chopped off. If you could understand that it is wrong to throw a dog off of a balcony, how can you think it's okay to chop a dog's head off? Oh, no. Yeah, it's wrong to chop a dog's head off, but yeah, if to chop a cow's head off or a pig's head off or a chicken's head off or a fish's head off, that's not animal cruelty. That's food. No, it's not. It's a fucking atrocity. It's animal abuse. It needs to be criminalized. If it's not vegan, yeah, it's animal abuse and it should be a crime. No, there's other, oh my God. Grains, all grains contain protein. All fruits contain protein. All plants contain protein. Lentils contain protein. Nuts contain protein. Seeds contain protein. And there are plenty of plant-based alternatives that are free of like soybeans and even peas. There's other ways to make, there's other ways to veganize things without the use of beans or peas if you're allergic to those things. My solution isn't even remotely realistic. My solution, how is that not realistic? People can very easily go vegan. Like I said, it's as easy as, when you go grocery shopping, instead of reaching for the cow's milk, you're saying it's unrealistic for people to move their hand like 2 feet the other way and reach for the hemp milk or the soy milk or the rice milk? That it's impossible for someone, it's unrealistic for someone, instead of going down the meat aisle to go down the frozen food section and, get some plant-based burgers or some plant-based chicken nuggets. No, my lipstick is not made of animal. Just look it up. Bare Minerals. Bare Minerals. It is vegan. It's not tested on animals. Well, I think the very least people should be forced to spend a day on a factory farm inside those shit-filled sheds with those animals and a day inside of a slaughterhouse. Yeah, that's the very least I think that should happen to people who consume animal products, is that they should have to, spend a day with those animals. Like if you think it's okay to raise animals for their flesh, if you think it's okay to kill animals, then you should have to, spend a day with those animals. Seeing how they live, smelling the stench they have to smell. Go into the slaughterhouse and see how those animals are being brutalized, how they're being, hacked to pieces. You should have to see that with your own eyes if you think it's okay to eat animals. You should have to see how the products you are consuming are being produced. No, all fruits, all vegetables, all beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, grains are vegan. Potatoes, most people like potatoes. Most people like French fries. Those things are vegan. Well, except the ones at McDonald's. Fuck you, McDonald's. You can't even make goddamn vegan French fries. Well, at least the McDonald's here in the United States. Yeah, I think I've heard, in other countries, the McDonald's don't use beef broth in their French fries. And, I get a 3-pound bag of lentils. 3-pound bag of organic lentils for $7. I can make 30 individual meals with that. How is that expensive? And it's so much healthier. What's going to be expensive if you ever end up with cancer or heart disease or kidney disease, which is a good possibility when you're consuming animal products, especially if you're consuming animal products every day. The more animal products you consume, the more risk you have of getting many forms of cancer, getting heart disease, getting cerebrovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, kidney disease, even Parkinson's disease is linked to the fat and secretions, or the fat and cholesterol in animal products. Yeah, that's creepy. I just don't understand how anybody can enjoy chopping up an animal. Like, would you, like, you know, if you want to understand how fucking really creepy it is, just imagine if those were humans you were butchering. Yeah, see, I'm not a speciesist. I'm not a human supremacist. I see no difference because there really is no difference. Yeah, I don't think humans are so superior to animals. I mean, especially when, you know, humans are literally the only species that's destroying the planet. You know, I'm sorry, I can't see humans as being superior when we're just causing so much destruction. And you can grow your own food too. But how is meat not expensive? How are eggs not expensive? How is, you know, dairy products not expensive? I mean, you know, any of the cheap meat, the cheap animal products, a lot of animal products are expensive, and they're getting more expensive. But any of the ones that are cheap, you know, like, oh, I go to McDonald's and get a burger for $1. Well, that's because the animal agriculture industry is heavily subsidized, using taxpayer dollars to falsely, you know, lower the prices on these products, because that's not what those products would cost. I mean, like a Big Mac. I mean, well, probably out in California it costs $15 anyway. But you know, if you were to actually, you know, pay the real price of like a Big Mac, you'd be paying $15 for that Big Mac. That's creepy. Raising someone for their flesh. See, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a speciesist. I'm not a human supremacist. So for somebody to be raising an animal for their flesh, I see no difference. Like, you know, if that was a human that you were doing that to, you were literally raising a human for their flesh. I still think, you know, it's the same creepy fucking thing. We don't have to consume animal products to be healthy. So, you know, it is absolutely wrong to harm these animals just because you can and just because you think they're tasty. After you season them with, you know, herbs and spices, which, in case you don't know, are vegan. Yeah, bacon causes cancer. Well, I don't respect anybody's choice to harm animals. I mean, yeah, like, you should be respecting people who are respecting others. But you're not respecting the animals, so I can't respect people who don't respect others. You literally have other animals killed just for your appetite. I can't respect that. When you're victimizing someone, I can't respect that, because I think it should be a crime. To victimize someone should be a crime. You know, it's absolutely a crime to victimize a human. So it should also be a crime to victimize animals. And in the state of Oregon, that's what they're trying to do. They are trying to make it a crime to raise animals for food, to make it a crime to hunt, to make it a crime to fish, because they should be crimes. Because they would be crimes if you did the same things to dogs or cats. They would certainly be crimes if you did those same things to humans. You know, for instance, in the dairy industry, they forcibly inseminate those dairy cows. In other words, they sexually violate them by forcing semen into their vaginas. If you were to force semen into the vagina of a woman without her consent, what would you call that? If you were to steal her baby from her, what would you call that? If you were to kill her baby, what would you call that? If you were to hook her up to a milking machine to suck her baby's food out of her body, what would you call that? Yeah, there would be crimes of rape, kidnapping, murder, and theft. And they should be crimes when you do those same things to non-human animals. They should be crimes, absolutely. Dominion doesn't mean to sexually abuse them, to psychologically abuse them, to physically abuse them. That's not what dominion over animals means. I mean, that's pretty twisted. That's a pretty twisted thing. But God gave us dominion. So that means it's okay for us to grab the penises of animals and force them to ejaculate